there you go. In progress. So but there was a plethora. Like Aaron came up with a big list. You came up with a good list, and I came up with an itsy bitsy list. So out of that list, what do we want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about it all, but not today. We'll pick one.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Just pick one. All of those can go from.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Yeah, because I mean, we talked about politics last week, which was mine. So let's pick one from you or Aaron this week.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Go ahead, Malcolm.
So we're picking from Aaron.
So that means you're on. Okay, Aaron's?
No. Go ahead, Malcolm. Pick from yours. I'll pick mine next week.
No. Ladies first. Well, technically he went first, but ladies first. You go. You have a big list. Like, there's a lot.
Well, I think there's plenty topics to choose from for sure. But because it's Sunday morning, I think most people want to be inspired by hope. I mean, there is solutions to all these so-called problems, first world problems.
Yeah.
Been listening to it for a long time, ever since I was born. But there is solutions to these problems, and I think that if you don't have faith in leadership, which it's very clear to me that most people don't have faith in the leaders that we either have ruling our cities or countries or provinces or what have you.
So the topic of the leaders, is that it, or faith?
Well, you have to have faith in something, right?
No, but what's the topic though?
Yeah.
Leaders? Is that what we want to talk about? Leadership?
Leadership,
well, good leadership. Good leadership. What it takes to be a good leader.
All right, let's talk
transparency.
Sounds good. Let's talk about that, because I mean, there's leaders all around this world right now. Like, Putin is a leader. The guy with nice hair that's in Ottawa, he's a leader. What do we think of these leaders? Like, there's also Sleepy Joe that's down south. There's what other leaders are? There's so many leaders that are around this world. What makes a good leader? Maybe let's try. Let's kind of start with that. That's a loaded question. I mean,
I think of myself as a leader. Lead by example.
Hold on, actually, before we get started, are we loading content and then we're gonna edit them all and then load them up, or are we loading them as we make these things?
They are loaded, but they have to be edited.
Okay.
So I am editing them, but then I need your input.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So then they're not live yet, and I was thinking that maybe we collect a bunch of different Sundays and then load them together, because what'll happen is with YouTube, once we've loaded a certain amount, then you can actually tell the person, okay, like at the end of the video, select this one that's been viewed most, or this one that is like the next episode kind of thing. So there's things like that we can alter and show, because you watched YouTube, it'll come up with the next video for that person that's making content, because you want to keep them on your channel kind of deal. So I think we should launch after we have 4, and then we're always constantly, every week we're building on it kind of deal.
Well, I did share some ideas and thoughts with Alex throughout the week of, things people have are plugged into something, and we don't have very long attention spans. So of course it goes down to, promoting and marketing, small bits, getting people excited, what's next, these sorts of things. Yeah. I'm going to Manitoba next week, so I have a whole bucket full of folders of stuff that could be real solutions, real time.
When are you going to Manitoba?
Saturday.
Oh, okay, next Saturday. Okay, cool.
The 24th.
All right, wicked deal. All right, so we're starting with leaders. So then, what makes a good leader? You were saying, Aaron, you see yourself as a good leader, and you lead by example. Continuing what you were saying.
Well, I think we all are leaders of our own journey and our own path. So if you read the news, some of our leaders that represent our countries and provinces, etc., they're what they promised to do long ago and still promise to do now, or people have lost faith, including myself.
That's fair.
False promises.
That is fair.
As last week we spoke about homelessness, poverty, right, Alex? Like the homelessness, the elderly having to pay so much money for rent, the lack of services, etc., etc. So there's a lot of concern for people like myself and other people of what's going on here. That's why we talked this morning.
Yeah, that's fair. What are your thoughts there, Alex?
I don't know. I mean, regarding leadership, leaders are only as good as the people they surround themselves with or around, you know what I mean? And so that's where, for example, Trudeau or a lot of these presidents have cabinet ministers, right? And so they could be, and I mean, it's holding them accountable, being able to hold them accountable, right? Because like with some of these topics, Trudeau for example, can't manage it all himself, right? He can only rely on whoever is in housing or whoever is in, whatever other area to manage it. So in that sense, yeah, no, a good leader is able to manage all that and make sure it's kept up to, I think, their standards. But that being said, a good leader has to have those standards to be on top of all the issues properly.
Yeah, and that comes back to values, I think, in a lot of ways.
Or making sure that the people you surround yourself with have the similar values as you, right? Or aligned values.
Absolutely.
So that things are being met and addressed properly.
So speaking of leaders, like even from, like, say, for example, back in the day, Jean Chrétien, we had, what was his name there? The one right after Jean Chrétien, which was Paul Martin. And then we also had the PC guy. I cannot remember his name for some.
Brian Mulroney, or?
No. Brian Mulroney's going way back.
Yeah.
That was before Jean Chrétien. He's from Alberta. Holy. Lived right by my house too. That's the crazy thing. 1 second. Prime Minister.
See, Malcolm, that's a perfect example of a leader that you can't even remember what his name is.
Right? It could be that, or maybe I just forgot. It's terrible that I forgot.
The sad part is, could probably list off every U.S. president, though.
Oh yeah, I can't. Like I literally could.
So can
the
I.
back of my hand, which is sad. But I don't know if it's
real talk.
But I don't know if it's the shock and awe of them. Like, I can go backwards. You know what I mean? I can say Joe Biden and then Trump and then Obama and then, Obama twice and then, Junior Bush, right? And then Junior Bush Jr. again. And then we also had, actually, no, maybe I stopped somewhere. No, there was Senior Bush. Oh, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But see, for example, looking at Bill Clinton, was he a great leader in your mind? Like, was he a good leader of, the U.S. at the time? Or was it just that the U.S. was already gonna, propel forward and he was just kind of the guy driving the bus?
You know what, I guess for myself, it's kind of like it's tough to please the masses. Like, not everyone's going to please everybody. But I think, it's a person that resonates with the majority. And Clinton, to me, would be one of those. Obama would be another one. Believe it or not, I think even Reagan, to a degree, was one, except for his war on drugs, which was a massive failure, right? Because, look where weed is now. So
this is true. The funny thing with Reagan is, like, he was all about, from what I remember and what I read about him, is like, it was all about, that hook that he could give to the American public. So one of the hooks was the war on drugs. One of the hooks was, like, make an enemy out of Russia. So then it was like, the Cold War. So he was doing all sorts of stuff like that. And then he had his wife that was involved, and his wife, like, I don't know if you guys remember those public service announcements with, like, Miss Reagan out there, and she was like talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
hugs and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty crazy. And to get it here in Canada, it was wild, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
like
to think of the job,
pushing it.
of the job of the President of the United States, you know, just to think of the job of the President of the United States, the First Lady, the lady that runs whatever the proper way of saying that is, that is the person that has huge impact, huge impact. What Michelle Obama did to bring food to so many schools by planting gardens right on her front yard. Example, you know, so presidents and first ladies and families, you know, I mean, I don't know if I always try to think to make the right decisions, but I mean, you know, but the first lady, whoever those may be at the time or whatever, those are the people that have the philanthropy and really the golden ticket, the key to get them through every door for everything. No matter what, because they're, you know, working kind of behind the scenes or alongside, so they say.
Well, to be honest,
so kudos to any those kind of leaders too.
But I mean, I think someone has said it earlier. I mean, there's all types of leaders, right? There's leaders in homes,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, schools, there's leaders in, you know,
absolutely. So some of these leaders get to really
a lot
have
of businesses
great
are run by
roles.
leaders, you know, great leaders like I'd say, you know, Amazon.
So Jeff Bezos, you fancy as a great leader?
You know what?
Or do you have to be a great leader to?
You know what? I can't say a lot. I know a lot of Jeff Bezos, but in the sense that, you know, I've heard about the washroom break nightmares. You know, I've heard different. Well, with Amazon, apparently, you know, you can't take a washroom break or something. There's been some employee, you know, disgruntled or some employee dissatisfaction with certain things. So there's been some bad press regarding that. And the fact that you can run a global company like a Walmart or Amazon and run it on a successful level, you got to take your hat off to that. Seriously, or, you know, you're doing something right.
This is true. Well, I mean,
and all the work it got to take to where it is today.
But then again, if you go back to, like, say, you know, our presidents, we're in fucking debt. You're doing something wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Our debt has never been the highest.
So high. Yeah.
Now.
And so you know, that being said, North America is known to be a debt society. Like, you know, we run on credit. So maybe that's part of the problem, and it goes, you know, right up to the top, maybe. But yeah, I think leadership just comes down to doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, and just, you know, leading by example, really.
Yeah. Would you say somebody like from back in the day, Walt Disney, would he be classified as a great leader?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He had vision, right?
He led, he led imagination. He led imagination, you know, and we all have different vision. We all catch different dreams at different times. I'm a visionary person. I create things. I'm a creator. We all are, you know. And you know what you think is going to happen, and when you first start with that, and where it can go, wow, it's limitless.
Yeah.
It's limitless, especially if you have honest, earnest, good partners working together with you. Like Alex was saying, your partners, your what did you call it in politics? Your ministers, right?
Yeah, your cabinet ministers.
Your cabinet ministers, your people who
you know, surround yourself with.
Right.
Yeah, so like the chief, for example, a chief, right, in a community or whatever, if they're getting a call.
Yeah.
If they're getting a call, it's because there's like top level whatever, if it hasn't been dealt with before it got to them. Sometimes they're not even aware of something because they have either hired staff or, you know, friends, family, what have you, that deal with things at a different level, you know. But good leaders are kind of very well aware of everything that's happening at all levels, you know, and when there is problems, which I think every leader knows at this point, we have a national housing problem, water problem, safety, you know, on and on, just the list goes on. That if I'm a leader like myself, I want to make change. I want to decide how we can change this. How do we fix this? How do we make this better? Right. So, you know,
like it's almost like you're saying, like the grassroots leaders, like parents to like people in your like neighborhood, they got to take a step forward and lead communities kind of thing, right? Almost like a grassroots kind of deal. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, it all starts at your own, in your own, what your own morals are, your own ethics are. I mean, we're all working hard still to improve the quality of life for ourselves and the people around us,
Mhm.
right? So
Here's
that's a
a
blessing.
question. Here's a question for you too.
Boom.
What?
Hold on to your question for a second, Malcolm, if you don't
Sure,
mind,
sure. Yeah,
because
no worries.
that's a good point there, Aaron. I think in terms of leadership as
Mhm.
well, which is improving the quality of people's lives around you, which in turn should improve the quality of your life.
Absolutely.
Good point,
Sure.
Aaron. Sorry, Malcolm, go ahead.
So, what do you guys think of leaders that beat a dead horse? That like, and maybe you guys don't have the same view as I do, and I can appreciate that. But when I see that on, like on a campaign, whether it's stateside or Canada side, we're still talking about abortion. Now, in my field, my view, I feel that this is a moot point. Woman's body is her body. What she chooses to
Oh,
do with it
absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
up to
Is
her.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
So then why do these leaders, like I get it, if they don't necessarily align with that same value, like it feels like we never can move forward in North America because we're always hanging on to things that we already decided in the past. You know what I'm saying? So this abortion thing is the first thing that comes to mind because I always think of what about the woman that got raped, right? And
No,
she
no,
might not
yeah,
want that reminder. So why
yeah.
are we?
There's a million, there is a
No,
million
you
and one
know,
reasons why someone might and shall need to have something like this
you,
done to them.
you know what,
It
Malcolm,
is their business and their business only. I don't
yeah.
know why this is even happening in politics,
Right? And what
Well,
were you gonna say?
and
but
I guess it all
I don't
comes
know.
back to I guess principles too, though. And
Mm-hmm.
here's where, like, honestly, it's a tough one in that sense because um we all love life, we're all alive, we love life, right?
Amen.
We all love
Amen.
children, um,
Yeah.
and so here's where honestly, again, a good one because I feel like a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to this because I do believe in abortion, but yet I
Mm-hmm.
love children. And yeah, you're right,
I
Malcolm. Like if somebody gets raped, what do you do? Do like, do you have that constant reminder? Like for example, Jehovah's Witness, same thing. They don't believe in abortion. Like it's against their religion, right?
right.
And I used to have discussions with them when they come to my door, my grocery store at the time, because I was interested in different, religions just to get to know their beliefs and understand their beliefs. And that was
Mm-hmm.
one of their beliefs. And so I posed the same question to him about the rape thing. And he was like, "Yeah, no, same thing. They don't believe in like blood transfusions, for example. So life and
Right.
death, c'est la
But
vie."
maybe in 2023, we should be thinking about birth control, family planning, these sorts of things, focusing more on that stuff
Well,
as
and this is the problem
I,
that this is the
that
problem that some religions have with science, though, because 300 years ago there was no birth control, there was no
I
abortion.
understand that.
You know what I mean?
I understand that.
And so there are some people that's still stuck in that era. And so here's where it is tough when you think about it because
But I do
some
think in 2023,
I can't
people
believe I'm
are
actually arguing this point because like no, you're right,
no, no,
Aaron,
no, it's not
but no, I'm not
arguing. I'm
arguing,
just like,
but I'm
because from a
debating because
medical perspective, like, I mean,
no,
with my medical background, etc.
a medical perspective, but in
Well, with my
reality,
medical perspective and reality in 2023, I don't know
yeah.
why in politics they're talking about abortion. I wasn't even aware of that. Okay. I did kind of hear about that a while ago. Okay. So this is kind of
Well,
near and dear to my heart because of the reason I love
see,
children.
the
I
question
love
becomes
healthy children.
the
I love
question,
healthy children,
yeah.
and I love parents that are able to provide for those children.
Okay.
So,
The
and if
question becomes
we,
the question becomes when is it life? When is it an embryo, like is an embryo life or not? That's the question, right? And um,
well, that's, I guess,
that's a tough one because
maybe other people's
because
questions,
again, if
but
you
to
look at it
me, I
that
think,
way, you look at it that way, if somebody was raped, right?
well, their life was just sucked out of them.
Well, yeah, but then too, if they have an abortion, are they killing life or not? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, I love biology. I've taken biology. I was well in biology. Um, um, you
I don't
know,
know. Maybe because I just know that grief is the highest price you pay for the life you maybe once loved or needed to have or what have you, So this topic honestly is hard on my heart this morning. That is too hard on my heart. We can
Oh,
change
I'm sorry.
it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wanted to ask it just because, like, I feel that it shouldn't be in the political realm.
That's amen. Thank you.
It's one of those things that, I look at it as like, how is it that they're so taking
Since
the
when is
emotion
our
out
medical,
of it? They're
when is our
putting money,
medical part? Yeah. I don't know. They'll just make it, if they banned it, they'll make it illegal. So people will just go and get them done illegally, which will likely cause all sorts of other issues with people be getting them done in a basement somewhere, for example, and on and on, and I think this happened before in history of time. I can't really remember, but
no, it has. The other thing is,
I mean, let's be honest though. This topic is only an issue in the US right now, right?
No,
is it? Oh, okay, this is not a Canadian thing. Oh, okay.
No.
Thank God.
It is a Canadian issue because of
oh my God.
But it's a provincial issue. So the newest key CP leader, her name is Danielle Smith.
In Alberta?
So yeah, in Alberta. So she believes in not being able, like, she's taking that right out of the woman's hands. Okay. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so, I think that lady is also taking the right away to going to the doctor on once a year.
No, I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that because I know, like, in some US states, they've actually banned it, where people are going to other states or other countries to get abortions.
I heard Whoopi Goldberg talk about it, and that's how I was aware of that at that time.
Yeah,
that's when I thought that was, and
it is a political issue, I think, in the sense that I think, Aaron, you mentioned something, legalities, because the laws do make up a lot of the rulings for society, and as well as medicine, right? And so, but the problem is, again, the people we put in power to make these laws, right?
Yeah, well, they put policies forward on behalf of the 99% of us, and we're all standing outside saying, no way. Yeah. And they still somehow get passed. Well, I don't understand. I will never understand that.
Sometimes, not necessarily in this particular issue, like with abortion, but sometimes it's like, for example, when I used to live in the United States, I lived in Arizona. When they passed what is that called? The Patriot Act. So I was living in the States when they created the Patriot Act. So what happened is they actually piggybacked. Now keep in mind how sinister this is. They piggybacked the Patriot Act on top of a different bill. So then the people that are voting on this thing, they obviously green lighted and rubber stamped it, and it went through. But the normal Americans, or regular Joe Blow America, had no idea what rights and privileges they were giving away, because their people that were, there to represent them, knee-jerk reaction is, oh, we have to do something. We're scared. Let's do this. And it was piggybacked on something completely different, which is so weird. And then they enacted the Patriot Act and was able to take certain rights away from their own people, which is so crazy, right?
Well, I'm about to fuck you guys up right now.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. Are you guys ready for this?
Roll it. Let's roll it.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for Alex. Thank God for Alex.
That's what cookies do.
You must know I need something lighter here, because
no.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, guys. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. So these same leaders, that are fighting abortion, in the US right now, for example, these motherfuckers won't blink to go kill somebody for war. How does that make sense?
Oh, I know.
No, how does that make sense? Like, the US right now supplying arms to Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine's in a battle, but instead of, all those fuckers, Putin, everybody, like, seriously, like, be a man, drop your guns, go fight it out. Talk it out or fight it out. Like,
there you
seriously.
Go.
Right?
Well, also, you should be able to talk about anything.
Listen,
you should be able to come to
chicken shit people use guns. Chicken shit people. Fucking, like, I'm serious. I'm so dead serious about this issue.
Me too.
Like, you are.
Like, chicken shit motherfuckers. That's why they put in amendments, because they're a bunch of chicken shit motherfuckers, right? Like fucking go talk it out or go fight it out.
Well, one of the last times I trailed myself to Manitoba in front of the Manitoba Assembly at the fire there in front at the teepee. Next thing I know, there's a bunch of military snipers, everything with a bunch of guns on everyone in front. And I have my Canadian passport saying we live in peace. Stop this.
That's crazy.
I said, there's women and children out here.
Alexander
all I have is my feather.
Alexander the Great.
These criminals.
Genghis Khan. All those guys are leaders. Because if there was shit coming down, they were at the head of the pack.
Oh yeah, they were right in the front.
Not some Air Force One, not in some bunkers. Not enlisting kids from their homes and dragging them out of their beds to go fight their fight.
Yeah.
No, they're like, no, who's with me, right?
Yeah, they are the tip of the sword, so to speak.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then everybody else follows behind them.
Well, honestly, I don't understand. I will never understand why people just do not wish for peace and want peace.
There is
I want that. I want that.
Well,
I need that.
Yeah, you know what, Aaron, though?
Peace doesn't mean profit. That's the problem.
Love, abundance, joy.
I disagree with that, Malcolm.
What's that?
Profit does equal peace to a degree. It doesn't have to be evil profit. What you meant to say, because there's evil profit and there's positive profit. So it doesn't have to equal negative profit or evil profit.
There's honest working. You know what I mean? There's honest working.
Yeah. So
I've been serving and I've been working, and I would prefer to serve myself, but I have to pay my bills. But it's always my pleasure to serve until it's not. Here's an example of, service to what?
Like George Bush Jr., the worst leader ever, as far as I'm worse than Donald Trump even, in my opinion.
Well, he was a puppet though, because the way it goes is like Dick Cheney, who was part of his dad's council back in the day, then became Junior's counsel, and kind of,
Malcolm,
the rumor is puppetry.
Puppet or not, if someone's pulling my strings and if it doesn't feel right, I say, no, I'm cutting those motherfuckers strings. Pinocchio.
Cutting the string.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, I just actually wonder, I just wonder if we just put it in perspective of there's this past history, of course, what we're just speaking of, past names. But I think going down in history, because we all are making history right now through a global pandemic, public health orders, how they said back in the day when there was this and that, this war, this pandemic, whatever. I think these were the worst leaders to be in charge of the money, the resources, all this kind of stuff through literally something that I never thought that I would ever live through.
Well, you know what?
Ever. And I'm glad I did, but I never thought I'd ever live through a time where I couldn't go and buy a pen, a paper, a battery under a public health order.
Yeah.
So these were really this was really, to me, the minute that we had this alert, it was okay, we are open 24/7. Our phone is on this 24-hour,
But where's a lot of the paper and pens come from?
Asia.
Huh?
Asia, where in Asia?
China.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding. And who's public enemy number one in North America right now?
Apparently it's Russia, but it can be China too.
China more so. Let's be honest, right?
Well,
so how do you fight back a superpower that is outselling you, out killing you, out whatever?
Well, not only that.
You make
our business to another country.
You make their goods scarce on the shelves.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. Now look how much everything costs.
Because then you reduce their right?
Their GDP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look at all of a sudden we didn't have chips for absolutely everything. Cars, phones, screens. Right now we got a glass shortage. Remember, Alex, I was telling you this week?
Yeah.
65% of the glass manufacturers went under during COVID. There's such a demand that the national brands like Ford, GM, etc., of course, have big contracts. The rest of the people everyone, so I mean, that's with glass, water, Red River cereal, mangoes, coconuts.
Yeah.
All of it.
That's pretty
But
crazy.
there's a whole other realm. But there is a whole other realm that's listening. Because remember, it depends what you're listening to. I'm telling the truth about these things. And as a common consumer, like everyone else, we're all seeing it. We all know it. Or if you pay attention, you're looking at it, you know, taxes, your receipts, all that kind of stuff, comparables. I mean, people can call me on anything. I know we know about almost it all. And if we don't, we'll find out. We're experts in the fields. You
That's
know
what you got to do.
And so, but a whole other gang of people, I'll call them, people that we're talking about before, in the beginning of this, gang of people, millions of dollars for weaponry.
Like I said,
weaponry.
I remember when George Bush Jr. was in office, and Halliburton, and there's like what was the other company? There was like a defense contractor for the United States. They made so much money. Why? Because they were going to go to war. The United States is built on conflict, right? Like they're all about either selling their weapons somewhere else and saying, oh, I don't see where it's gone, or building it for their own military. And their military is the biggest propaganda machine on the planet. Because, like, I mean, you can look at how they poorly treat certain veterans when
you guys know
they're injured and everything. Yeah, what's that?
Did you guys know that our military here in Canada, and I'll always be speaking more about Canada because this is where I'm born, this is where I'm raised, and this is more what I know, and these are the people I talk to.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But our military people, personnel at one particular level here, they don't even have enough food to eat. These are mostly men and women that are like being very, very purposeful all day, like for 16 hours, 17 hours. I'm talking about like when we're diving and all that kind of stuff, okay? Like not enough food, not the right kind of food. And I mean, everyone's willing to pay for their own. It's just they can't even, so we can only be as well as our most, focused people. It's my understanding we do need military for when there's a disaster here in Canada. We need our military to come and give aid, fires, etc. But we're not even using our military for those kinds of things anymore here. No, not as much as we should be and shall be.
We didn't do it for the fire. The fires that are raging up in northern Alberta, we could have called the military. To my understanding is, like, I sent you guys that thing where we got aid from South Africa, and then
they wished to them.
Remember
that
video that
they wished to them.
No, people.
I haven't watched it. I'm sorry.
South Africa, France. Fighters have come in from all over the place to help. Australia, all over.
Wow,
New Zealand,
but I do think the military was somewhere in Quebec or Ottawa or somewhere in Ontario as well, though.
But I guess like what I'm saying is like I think what I'm saying is that when I flew into Alberta one day in Calgary, okay, I'll have to look back at my calendar. I don't have it in front of me. It was so black here, we could hardly see. It also was the day that the Prime Minister had flown in by whatever way he flies in. And he asked the normal public people, again, he's asking not-for-profit charities, he's asking people of common citizen to come and try to fight this vast fire because he doesn't have enough people. He doesn't even know what to do. And I was like, oh my God. I was like praying. I'm like, well, honestly, we just pray for rain, pray for rain, pray for rain, pray for rain.
Ding,
and
ding, 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 ding. Now, this will probably never happen. But because of this topic that we're just talking about, for example, like it'll never happen, like I'm saying, like in the political arenas.
Right.
But I think this is where we can make it happen.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No. Hear me out. In the sense of a public poll for each and every topic. Like, should the military be fighting, like helping fight fires? And no, seriously, just have people chime in. And these percentages, like say if 80%, 70% of the people chime in, this is the stuff that we take to our public figures, or maybe you try to make a case in the sense of people actually really having a say, a platform where people really having a say that the leaders should be following, right? Like for say spending, hospitals, all that kind of stuff. Because really, we're electing these people to speak on our behalf. What are they?
Yeah. Well, we hire them to advocate
like
for us.
They are right now speaking on the 1% of people. The rest of us, 99% of people, and it even talks about this in the Bible, okay? People that are reading any kind of Bible, okay? Talk about this in Revelation 13. And they talk about, in English, one day you'll be paying for your air. and water be worth more than gold, et cetera, you know? So this is it. I mean, either people want change or they don't. And I think every single person is standing there wondering what the fuck is going on.
No, but this is what I'm talking about, though, or this is what I'm referring to. Though. So, for example, Malcolm, you brought up the fires in Alberta. So we start a poll, online poll. How many Albertans and Canadians think the military should be deployed for this?
Yeah.
Exactly. And how many of us had no, and how many of us actually had no idea?
Yes or no.
And how many of us had no idea that these other countries are coming to our aid? So I want to honestly, like, I don't know if you can, like,
well, no, that's
make which to them.
Aaron, that's
just
just not paying attention. Aaron, that's just not paying attention to the news. If you had no idea.
Well, I'm plugged into my own thing. I'm fighting my own fire here. I'm shutting my windows.
Fair enough.
Ventilation of my own. I mean, literally, I'm living in this condition. So I had no idea who was all coming to fight the fire. So make which to other countries that heard our call for help and sent who they could. And sent who they could.
One thing I have to say about the stuff, Aaron, one day watch the video that I sent you, and then I want both of you to read the comments that are on there, because I read a lot of the comments that are on there, and people, I don't get why people don't get help. Is nice. It's a gracious thing. It's kindness and everything like that. And then there's these people that are trolling, these wonderful people that are coming to help us fight our fire.
Why are they trolling them? Like how?
Well, one person was saying something to the effect of, like, why does Canadians need this kind of help? And then maybe they should stop singing and go and do what they were sent here to do. And I was like, okay, they finally. So there was a person that was complaining, saying that because you saw it, they were singing when they first landed, right? And they were doing like they were doing a song. And then
So they're trolling them. They're trolling them because of that.
Yeah, they're saying like, well, why are they singing? They should be already gone to like go fight the fire. And I was like, are you stupid? Because like at the end of the day, they came here to help Canadians. And yes, they're showing their unity, and they're kind of organizing themselves before they go out and fight the fire. And these baboons are saying like, oh, well, how dare they sing and all of this kind of crap. And I was like, are you serious right now?
Malcolm, Malcolm, come on. You know better. You do know there's some retards in the world, right?
Oh, I do know that.
You can't put a lot of weight into fucking retard comments. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't put weight into it. I wanted to troll them.
Not everyone should have access to a keyboard.
That is so true. Very true.
And not every comment.
This is exactly why what you plug into, right? Because you can get sucked into like kind of what have you. So again, whoever is away from their family today on Father's Day, for example, someone that has come a long ways over the ocean to come fight our fires and help us over here. I thank you guys. I thank everybody. Like, I am a Canadian person, and I'm not a firefighter, but I definitely would help as much as I can. And I mean, I've been in other countries where they've called upon me to, give a hand in maybe one of the skills that I have. And so on a Sunday, honestly, where we pray for peace and we wish for better and we want better, and we know we've always been able to have anything we wanted until someone said we couldn't. But these forest fires and water is scary. And I've been living here for a couple months now, where the fires have actually affected my everyday, whether we can go outside, whether the children can go to school. Yeah. So that's how serious the fires really are. And that's as close to my backyard. So I thank you.
And I know I'd rather them singing, going to work, or possibly impending death, than them coming in all fearful and afraid for their lives. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But I'm thankful. We are so thankful. So thank you for Real Talk today, for bringing me up to date and aware on what's going on in the last 7 days.
No problem.
So thank you guys.
You know what else is weird about those fires, and going back to leadership and stuff like that? Parents should be the kids' number one leader.
Oh, for sure.
The schools. So I spoke to a person with, like, small kids that are going to school during all these crazy fires, and the air quality is poor. So the school, the principal and the teachers said, hey, you know what, because I think when it's 11 plus, the pollution like scale or whatever, it's like the equivalent of smoking 2 packs a day or something ridiculous. Like, it's pretty crazy.
And then that goes under the public health orders. It's like a public health. It's bigger than principal. It's public health order.
It is.
What we are. It's chief medical officers advising. It's big. Yeah, you got to listen. You got to pay attention every day.
Exactly.
Depending on the wind. Yeah.
Yeah. So the school, the principal, they're following the public health order. They're keeping the kids inside. Like, instead of, like, they have recess, but it's in the gymnasium, or it's for a short period of time, like 5 minutes. So school is out. The kids are told, okay, go directly home, or have your parents take you home. And now all these parents have their kids playing outside when the kids have been told you cannot play outside because the air quality is so poor. This is a perfect example of parents not being parents, or not being good leaders in their own home. Having their kids, when the sky is clearly black, or it's like hazy and red because it's on freaking fire, and letting their kids consume this stuff instead of putting them in their car and taking them home. Or if you want to have Johnny have a play date with his friends, then take them to a home, because
that's only lucky enough, brother, if
that time.
That's only lucky enough if you have a car that you can go pick up your child in.
This is a private school, so I mean, all those parents have cars. Hey, and they should be taking.
I pick up my grandson, and I don't have a car, so I've had to go pick him up on my bike in bad conditions.
Yeah, but you were probably taking him straight home, right? You weren't going to allow him to play outside.
I'm just saying that I think people are doing the best they can in the elements, because these elements are terrible.
When people are drinking their Starbucks coffee and watching their kids when the sky is blazing is not them doing their best. Their best is to protect that child, and not have like a parental gathering and let's watch our kids inhale all this smoke, while we should be jumping into our Land Rovers, our Mercedes, or whatever car you have.
But when these weather warnings are on, I still see construction workers having to go out and breathe this crap in all day. They're working outside on the roads. Like, work still goes on.
This is very true.
I'm not working. I don't work in any of those industries, but I'm just saying I'm watching like the school bus driver. Like, there's all sorts of people that are absolutely going out and doing the best they can every day. Because if we don't have dinero to make money to
survive. No, I completely get that. But the difference between an adult and a child is that a child's lungs are developing. You're hindering them, not you, but I mean the public use,
by the elements,
hindering them from getting, they might be influencing asthma because they're literally smoking cigarettes, because that's all the particles. Quality, right?
It's all the particles in the air. So again, thank you for everyone coming to fight the fire.
Yeah,
really, seriously, and the rain today.
Your thing there, Malcolm, with the parents and the children. It's also, we can't assume that every parent knows better, right? Or we can't assume that
even people have parents.
Yeah, because I know
many of us don't.
I know myself. I spend less time outside when it's smoky, because of that. I know I don't like to ingest smoke, and so why am I going to be outside? When it's smokier than. So I would spend more time indoors when it's smokier out. Like, for example, you won't catch me outside cutting the grass when it's that smoky out, but and I guess my kids are older too, so and they're pretty common sense in that sense, but again, when you're talking about toddlers, it's a little bit of a different thing. But here's where, though, too, honestly, the foods we eat isn't even the best for us, with all the pesticides and chemicals that are on them, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, how, like, where do you, but you're right, it's not just, so protecting And Aaron, you're also right in the sense that people do the best they can of what they are given or what they know or whatever it is. But yeah, there's just so many things as a parent that you have to look out for,
Mm-hmm.
and you're both right in that sense. Like, yeah, you do the best you can, but
Oh, but I think
also,
like
you can't protect them from everything. Because I know myself, like I
everything.
love apples, I love grapes. I try to wash the shit out of them before I eat them. I've got a friend Ricky, who you know, Aaron, and you'll get to meet one day too. Malcolm's like a brother. He's a brother.
Yeah.
Actually, we should get him on this podcast. You know, that's what I'm gonna
Hey,
do. I try to get him
hey,
on here when I
Alex,
can.
Alex,
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
I think the other thing to say, like, because I don't want to lose my train of thought, because I'm getting, yeah.
Ricky
When
would
we
be
know,
great for
like,
the sorry, go ahead,
hey,
Aaron. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
when we know better, we can do better, right? So
Yeah.
I always hope and pray as we share our voice and we share our wisdom and our knowledge, right? Paying attention with purpose, on purpose, right?
Hold on.
I was not even
I'll be
aware
back.
of so
I'll be
many of
back.
the topics. What?
Sorry,
He's
go ahead.
gonna be back, bud.
Oh, I
You
was
were
not even
saying.
aware of some of these topics that have been brought to light to me today, you know? So there's
Mhm.
lots of feedback from all different angles of, what we're talking about. So I think, honestly, the pollution where he was just saying too is absolutely terrible too. Like I have some other notes here that are just, I don't know. I mean, it does get to be pretty grim sometimes, but
It can be, yeah.
it can be, but I mean, me myself, I know that I like real happiness and real joy is
Mhm.
honestly better when shared.
Amen.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
honestly better when shared.
Hmm. I agree.
Hmm.
I agree.
So I think like all of those things that we talked about today are all about, faith, hope, love, joy. I think when you are doing what you are meant to do, your purpose and mastery, your joy,
Hmm.
joy, follow your blessings. Everyone has different blessings. Everyone has different things that they like to occupy their time with, what have you.
Yeah.
Human connection is, me myself, I actually like to really hug someone opposed to fake hugging on whatever this thing is, meme or whatever they call this.
On Zoom, you mean?
No, meme friends.
Oh,
I don't know,
Zoom
Alex,
friends.
meme
Oh,
friends, is
gotcha.
that what you call that? Fake friends, real friends,
Fake friends.
Alex?
Well, it's not just
Like, so I mean,
yeah, there's
we all
fake
have
friends, real
different, like,
friends. But I
yeah,
mean,
we all have like
but I
different
mean,
friendships.
if you have fake friends, whose fault is that?
Well, it's not like fake friends, but it's different friends. So we all have
Yeah.
these different levels of, people that we can count on, right? In
Yep.
scuba diving, we call it the buddy system.
Oh,
You're
I
one on
do
one.
love that. Yeah.
If you are in trouble in the water, you have one line on you that's yellow. Your buddy can take it anytime and he breathes off your oxygen, right? So you have one buddy
Hmm.
system. You always have your eyes on that person. They always have your eyes on you.
Yeah.
So there's no, there's always like a second because you're like 100 feet down in the water. So it's buddy system.
Yeah.
So you have to, so I think it's nice when people have somebody to count on, anybody.
Well, yeah, it's nice, but again, you bring it back to leadership, that buddy system should be like all your constituents or all the people that put you in power.
Right,
They should all be your fucking buddy, right? Not
right,
just you and your cabinet buddies.
right.
That you're all getting
Well,
richer.
that's what
Because,
I'm
for
saying. And
example,
so it's
like
your,
Trudeau's
so
gone
it's
from,
your friends,
I don't know if you guys
you're
saw, I
voting
don't know how
people.
true this is, but he's gone from like 10 million to like 380 something, 5 million. Like, like how many multiples is that?
Yeah.
And how
I
many
know, right?
Canadians
Well,
incomes have gone up?
I remember when the finance minister at that time, he accidentally, something like this, forgot to put an expense to the We Charity, on and on, all unraveled right in front of the news, everything like this. And then Justin Trudeau says there was no other charity that applied for this. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I spent 7 fucking days applying for this fucking bullshit thing for $450,000 grant that could be used for the betterment. And you guys forgot to fucking put through a $30,000 claim because you went off to a different country and took your family?
Hmm.
Like, that's accountability.
Yeah.
That's like not one penny, guys. And he actually got fired for that. But I think it was Alex told me that was his friend or something like this. And so, like, so now I hear Justin Trudeau's worth how much more money than what like, how does he
So
keep on earning
what
money
she's
like
talking about is
that?
I think she's talking to, I don't know if you remember Malcolm, that we something that
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
We
The We
Charity. It's a
charity.
great,
I
yeah.
remember that
it
thing.
Yeah.
was a great charity, but now it's dismantled.
Mm. It's
That's
more.
terrible because they've been
Seems
doing
like
work
a
all around
funnel.
the world, and now it just I mean, I shouldn't speak. I'm not involved in that charity. So, but I just know the result of people fucking around, and look at, so people can Google that and look it up. And I'm not sure where it is right today, but that's too bad. Okay, guys, you know what? I gotta run myself because my family's here, and I'm really sorry. But
thanks for joining us.
Nice seeing you, Alex. I haven't seen you since last Sunday when I saw you on the glimpse of the camera. Happy Father's Day, guys. Enjoy everything the good Lord gives us for free. Each other.
Right on.
And thanks for the knowledge. Thanks for letting me come on the show.
Right on.
Next week will be in
sunny Winnipeg.
Next week I'll be in actually Portage la Prairie, where it's like real time.
Oh,
real everything. Open it up the bar next week. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Sounds good. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Enjoy your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Big witch. Okay, I gotta get off of this now, guys.
Okay, we'll see you.
See you later. You could just, did you click on leave? You can click on end, and then it'll allow you to come off.
I think she's trying. But anyway,
I think so.
So yeah, we're gonna have to try to probably work this, like have a time almost a setter. You know what I mean? Where we have like 10 or 15 minutes and go because otherwise it's gonna be a lot of editing for you.
Oh yeah. Even the first one is a little bit of editing. I'm trying not to cut out like crucial things.
That's true. You know, and maybe because
it's gonna be more raw.
Yeah, because the topic because also trying to stay on topic. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so or where we don't lose a listener, and we should almost sometimes too do it in a way that we make our statement and turn it over. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Or they can also comment at the end of any sort of show, right? Like, we'd love to hear your comments. Please tell us what you think.
Exactly. So we have to add that somehow. Like we have to set a timer, and then boom, hey, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe, leave a note, leave a comment, and tell the
world. Drop a like.
Yeah,
tell us what you think.
Yeah. Because that's what we want is feedback, right?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we can add like a thing in the beginning. And a thing at the end. That is like kind of pre-recorded and whatever, and then we'll have the two flanking, and then kind of cut off like today's episode. We'll cut off with like her saying goodbye, and then we'll cut it off there, and then have if you like what you're saying, what you're hearing, or like and subscribe, and then you can also say things like please comment. We want to hear your feeling on this, because we'll read certain comments, or we'll read some of the comments during our next episode, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Keep that snowball going.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna move inside here.
Yeah, no
I'll see if I can get Ricky on the phone here with us.
Sounds good. And so sometimes I find Erin is like, she is a wild card sometimes. I love it. Funny. So funny.
Yeah, it can go, eh?
Yeah. She's hilarious.
Yeah, no, anyhow. But yeah, no, not a bad idea though to set a timer for us.
Yeah.
And then fuck, it's bright out here. Right behind me. That's why I was outside, because this window here is so bright.
Yep.
especially
It is
not
very
as bright
bright.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah. Um,
man.
um, yeah, some good topics though to to chat about. But yeah, we should and I mean I guess it's work in progress in that sense. But yeah, we
Yeah,
should probably set like a 15-minute timer to just spitball stuff, talk about what our topic, and then
gotcha.
open
So
it up to
almost have
people.
like a segmented. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Um, um, yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. I like that. We should do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
because like it's pretty smooth to have like segments and everything like that. Like I mean, I see things like did you ever listen to the Steam Room with Chuck and Ernie?
no.
Charles Barkley and Ernie. You should check it out. That's
Okay.
we could do it similar to that. Like they tackle a lot of like mostly like basketball and sports stuff.
Yeah.
But because you know how Charles
Oh
Barkley
shit.
is, he'll cover all sorts of
That's another
crazy
one we
stuff.
could talk about too, like with time management, all that other shit now too. But
Oh yeah, or John Moran. Like really,
yeah. What's that about?
and Mr. Gunplay. You know what? He will probably be the one guy that gets like killed by like some real gangster
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, you want to be a gangster? Oh, really? You
yeah.
want to
So
be like that?
yeah.
Boom, boom. You know, who want to be
Here's the guy
gangsters
who's
get
got
killed, right?"
the world at his feet, and I don't quite get it. But
That dude stands to make $500 million and he's acting like a fool.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes I don't understand, like brothers, like, you know, we want to be taken seriously in this world. And then it's always like, I put it this way. When there's something bad that's going on in some sort of neighborhood, they always
Mm.
find that motherfucker that's an idiot to represent the community. And he's like, yeah, I was around when that happened. And oh, what's up? And there's nobody beside him because he's like a complete airhead. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it makes no sense. Like they never go to that like educated brother and talk to him. They're always looking at, and I'm not saying that Jaw's not educated. It's just that he's trying to play a gangbanger,
Yeah.
which I don't even understand. Like, why, dude? Sometimes you got to get rid of certain
Well,
things.
and again, to me, you're not wrong, but it's an inherent problem where they make guns really cool, and especially in the U.S., like guns is kind of like it's embedded in them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
because I know I've had this discussion with a few different Americans, and even some on this little golf app game that I play.
Nice.
I'm dead serious. This is a real thing. I remember the guy's name's Aaron, and actually, I think there's another guy. Well, he goes by the name Golf Stud. And most of them are Americans. There's a couple of Canadians on this thing, and we try to stay away from it, but every now and then we get political, right? And this, one thing was about the killings and all this other stuff, right? And or the mass shootings. Sorry, not the killings, but the mass shootings and of course the war on black people. And I was like, I would just abolish guns. Period. Done. No guns.
Yeah.
Wow. I would.
How can you do this?
Well, because I think the thing went because if I was president, I would just abolish guns. All right, altogether, and I would also not tax anybody's incomes because I'm going to get taxes otherwise anyhow. Dropping little hints.
That's right.
Yeah, little. Which is the one thing I did like about Trump because he did allude to just getting rid of tax on people's incomes. That was the one thing he never did it, of course, but it was got me excited for him. That was the only excitement I had from him. That's it. I think he should have been in jail for calling Africa a shithole country. Or should have been fired right on the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Never mind this one. Yeah, no, seriously, you can't have a fucking president talking shit like that about places that you're stealing from already as is. Come on.
Right. And in abundance.
You piece of
stealing
shit.
In abundance.
You piece
right?
of shit.
Yeah. Freaking guy. He's gonna go into jail for so many years.
calling Mexicans thieves, rapists, fucking da da da. Should have been fired right on the spot.
All day long. Oh yeah.
Right? Only
And
in
he was
America.
like, I'll have the Mexicans build the wall and stuff like that. I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, you can't be saying this shit.
So messed up. But
it's his public. They eat that up, right? They love that shit.
But yeah, so anyways, no, they had this debate, and so on this app, this golf game app, it's called Golf Clash. And so I we got into this political thing, and it's like, if I was in power, I'd get rid of all guns, just violence, dead against. Oh, it's in our amendment. You'd never get my vote. No, I don't want your vote. I want the sensible people's vote. Fuck you.
Here's a question for you. You ever mess with an American and tell them, okay, tell me your Second Amendment. I want to know that whole entire sentence. Because the thing that they always forget, it's always like, every single one of them, I have the right to bear arms. And I'm like, oh yeah? Is that how that sentence ends? Is that where it ends? And I remember when I used to live in the States and I used to ask them that, and they're like, yeah. I was like, no, buddy. And I can prove it to you. It says, you have the right to bear arms in an organized militia, and there's something else to it, like against whatever. And that amendment was created because they didn't want Britain to come and invade. And I was just like, is anybody coming in to invade your country right now? Are you organizing in a militia? Like, why do you need this gun? You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, but I have the right to bear arms. There's no militia. You're not fighting against anybody. Like, what is wrong with you? Oh, well, I have the right to bear arms to defend my house. And I was like, you're one person. You are not a militia. And these are completely educated people that I'm talking to, like people that, go to university of like ASU and everything like that at the time. And I was like, dude, you just don't know. You got to read that full sentence. And then that makes sense, because what your forefathers were trying to do was protect from an invasion from a different country. Nobody's trying to invade you. You guys got to put that shit down. Like, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Read the full sentence. It's not half a book, man. Read the full fucking book. Like, if you want to do it, right? Like, they're messed, but you should see some of their brains just explode.
And that's where it's, just like the Bible, sometimes people just interpretation, right? And,
I know.
And
the Quran, the Bible, all of those things are
to suit their whatever. There's some common sense things that I get from the Bible in my common sense, right?
Yeah.
We
also have to.
We all came from Adam and Eve. There must have been some incest along the way, but the Bible says incest is taboo.
Yeah, right.
Things that
like two people on the whole entire planet created all these billions of people, and there's no incest, none.
Right?
Yeah,
right. But yet the Bible says,
that's taboo. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah.
But explain that to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it does say two people. It came from two people. We all came from Adam and Eve.
That's right.
Yeah. So there must have been some incest in there. But
just a little bit.
But in the summer too, I think it says man is made for woman. And so basically, I think the Pope's kind of like, not kind of, but the Pope's welcomed, homosexuality, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But there was an addition of the Bible where it said man is made for woman, which basically says homosexuality is like a sin and not a thing, or you can't,
Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's not.
But if you're born that way, how's it a sin? Like, like.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, just
if that's how you feel, you feel that way. It is what it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple things, but then the biggest thing I got out of there, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Hey.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Right. I won't punch you in the face because I don't want you to punch me in the face.
There you go. Right. Which is so wild. Like, people don't even look at stuff like that, though. Right.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. People just fall into line and they don't look at the face. This is where my mind goes, right?
They don't.
I don't. It doesn't make sense to me, because that's where we all came from. I do believe in the aliens. I do believe in that, we're all like
Of course.
An atom or whatever. Like they're just,
Mhm.
and so there was different bacteria, all the bacteria. So there's different bacteria that were on this earth, and then
Mhm.
and that's where again it kind of ties back to that whole abortion thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But and so and it's so weird that way, Malcolm. Like I'm telling you, because that's where I feel like a hypocrite because I hate killing,
Mm.
but
Me
I
too.
eat meat. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I
But
know.
you gotta survive somehow.
There
That's
you
where
go.
that. But this is real talk right now. You know what I mean? That's where I feel
For
like a bit
sure.
of a hypocrite because and I believe in abortion and I love children.
Yeah. But I mean, I like,
No, that's kind of messed up, isn't it? Like
but you know what? You're the same as
because
me in
yeah,
that
because
regard,
I know
right?
we are. I know
Yeah.
we are because you're so right. You're so right. It's a woman's right, woman's body,
Yeah.
woman's right. 100%. No argument here.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, we cherish life and everything like that. But here's the question for us.
yeah,
If you go to like Europe
yeah,
and Asia, and
yeah,
I'm saying like Japan, even China, do
yeah,
they have the same issue? No. I don't
yeah.
even think they're even talking about it. But
Exactly.
because we're such a
Exactly.
young country, right? Like North America is relatively new to the world
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that versus all those places.
yeah.
They're more woke than we are, and we're all like acting like, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
woke
yeah,
culture
yeah,
right
yeah,
here. Look
yeah,
at us. We're
yeah,
so we're so what is it called? We're so bright and brilliant.
yeah,
We're thinking light years ahead, and I was like, no,
yeah.
we're not. We're
No,
so far
no,
behind. It's
so
crazy.
far behind.
Like it's dumb because in Japan they find a way to coexist. And the funny thing is with Japan, if you look at a child the wrong way, you will
Mm-hmm,
disappear. It's
mm-hmm,
it's a common fact. Like you
mm-hmm,
don't go to jail; they just make you gone.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
out here, we incarcerate our pedophiles. We even actually keep them away from the regular populace because they would probably disappear
mm-hmm,
from the regular
mm-hmm,
populace
mm-hmm.
and stuff. And I say that because, like, if you were to rape, say, a young child in Japan, and then she ends up having a child,
Yeah.
like they first of all, they wouldn't even allow that to happen. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm,
you rape a child, they'll make you disappear, and then they'll do everything to make that child comfortable and
mm-hmm,
make that decision that kid, like, even though they're a child, they'll make it that child's decision. Whereas
mm-hmm,
here, we're still debating, okay, well, and it's all, I'm sorry to say, it's all these white men
mm-hmm,
mostly saying, well, it's it's our right to decide what you're going to do with your body. And I really find that that's not right, because like if a child in North America is able to have a sex change,
mm-hmm.
then and that's their decision. So then why is it all of a sudden when a woman gets raped, it's no longer her decision, but she could have had a sex change if she wanted to?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, why are we so twisted? It's either that person's body or it's not their person's body. And then we can make all the decisions for them. You know what I mean? Like it's just such a weird
Well, I think
thing.
you said it in a nutshell is why are we so twisted, right? Because people are just pretty twisted because it's so many factors, and this is part of why I believe in abortion because or part of why is because not everyone's ready to be a parent. Not everyone's financially, and not everyone can live with giving up their child from their, and plus
Right?
the risk factors of childbearing. Like, you could literally die. So it's right, like, it's um,
And that's a fact, right?
it's a fact, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, to me, it's like anything. Like, no one's going to tell me what I can put in my body or do with my body. Like, if I want to kill myself, that's my business. Like, no one,
Right?
like, I think that's everyone's right to do what they want with their body, right? Live
Exactly.
their life as they please. Hopefully,
Yeah.
peace and love. But
Mm. Yeah, exactly, right? But
But if not, but if
literally is my body is my body. Your body is your
no,
body. Why should
exactly,
I be able to dictate what you
exactly,
can do with your body? And we're
exactly.
so twisted like that here.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Canada, the United States, maybe it's because they're filling us with propaganda and it's always in our face. But I don't understand how all of a sudden it's it's like a political view for what you can do with your
Well,
own
no,
body.
it wasn't
Like
all
if you're
sudden.
not
No, no,
hurting
no, no,
somebody.
dude,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, it wasn't all sudden. That was there. That was in the U.S. like from years ago,
This is
and
true.
then, yeah, and then Roe versus Wade and all this other stuff, right? Like, so, so
Oh
what that
yeah, that's
fight? Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
that court
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, no,
that's
I
right.
got you, I got you, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what some of that is, no, not even what some of that is. All right, no, you overturn my law, I'm getting it back,
Right? Because I
right? Because
swear,
I'm in power
wasn't it?
now. You see
Yeah,
this?
that's
I'm in
right.
power now.
Wasn't it Obama that did that? Like
Exactly.
I think
That
he,
Negro. That Negro.
yeah,
Yeah.
I swear, yeah, I think he did bring that to view,
So,
or was it Clinton?
oh, well, see,
It's one of those two, and then it just flip flopped
well,
back
but then
over.
Trump was determined to overturn it when Trump came in, so that's why he hired that drunken white boy, I forget his name, into Supreme Court.
Right? What the hell was that
Okay.
guy's name?
And so they overturned it. Yeah, that was their whole mission, right?
Right. Well,
So,
they overturned a ton of stuff
oh yeah, well, yeah,
that
but they're
Obama
working on
did,
it,
right?
right? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not even about what's right, what's wrong. We're just gonna
Yeah.
undo it because you guys did it.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing, like with this new premier that we have, like that's the thing, that's the biggest fear for my wife is that she believes in Wixit, like not
Mm.
my wife, but Daniel. And if you don't know what Wixit is like it's Albertans trying to organize to
Wait a minute.
remove themselves from the
Hold
country.
on. What do you mean not my wife, but Danielle?
No, I'm saying it's Danielle that says it's not my wife. My wife is
Oh,
afraid of Danielle. So that's why I'm
oh,
saying
oh, who's Danielle?
my wife's view is like, a woman's body is her own.
Yeah.
And my wife's view is like Alberta should always forever be
Oh,
part of
the
Canada.
premier, whatever.
Our premier,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Danielle,
Danielle.
her view is
Gotcha. Like, who's Danielle?
yeah. No. My wife's name is LJ. But like Danielle, sorry, wants to remove Alberta from Canada. And I was just like, okay, I've heard this before when Quebec wanted to separate from the
Yeah,
rest of Canada. And I was
yeah.
like, do people think of the ramifications of what that is? Like, it's idiotic. And not only that, the other provinces have to vote in favor of such things. And let's be honest here. Quebec will never get rid of its teeth, which it suckles from, because yes, all those equalization payments, they come from Alberta and they go out east. So Eastern Canada would never let go of Alberta, first of all. And then for the rest of Western Canada to join Alberta and separate, that's idiotic as well, because you're not going to have a passport to go through a country by itself. Like sometimes our political leaders like Danielle just don't think. Like I get it that that's what you want, but why don't we put energy into things that can help us now, not down the line?
Well, see, I don't know a lot about all that.
No.
I haven't heard a lot about that topic in terms of where you're wanting to separate, but I'm just gonna take a wild guess here though. Alberta is what's called oil rich, right?
We are.
Right? And, you're probably the only province that has no what's called PST.
We have no PST. You are correct. Actually, Yukon as a territory has no PST.
Well, we'll leave Yukon alone for now too, because we can get to that. We're talking about Alberta right now.
Yeah,
okay?
No worries.
Keep it on topic here. No, I'm just kidding. Calm down over there. Calm down over there.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm
okay, so that being said, what do I need you for? You're just costing me money. Right? So no, time to say goodbye. You're like, this relationship isn't valuable.
Yes. We're going to sever ties.
Well, no, obviously it's not valuable, but it seems to be costing me more than it's costing you. Like it's not like even trade here, you know.
Yeah.
So
And it really isn't an even trade.
So I'm bleeding money,
Mhm.
and what would Jesus do, right? You gonna you stop the bleeding somehow.
There you go. Somehow, but Jesus
that's,
would turn water into wine. So
yeah. But if that's what's behind it, then I get it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, but it's just
no. I don't know if that's what's behind it, but I'm gonna take a wild guess it is, and if it is, then that makes
it
sense.
is because they're so as an Albertan, like I mean, born and raised in Winnipeg, but now I'm in Alberta for the longest time.
Hey, have you heard the new saying?
What's that?
Sorry, don't lose your train of thought there, though. Okay.
Okay.
The new saying, being Albertan is the next best thing to being treaty status.
I think we would wish we were like treaty status because then that would be awesome. Because that would mean we're getting money.
Hey, you're halfway there. You're just away from there.
No doubt, right?
you only one ST away. And at least it's not an SPD. It's just one ST.
One ST. Okay, there you go.
Oh, this is real talk.
Yeah.
Hey, like and subscribe.
No doubt. Like and subscribe and love us all.
Yes,
comment. We want the comment.
Yes.
Oh man, it was great, man. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, PS.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, we could keep it going, but yeah, we'll cut it. But yeah, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Spitballing.
Yeah.
Keep it. Actually, I think this is instead of always all serious, crack it up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Like, of course, absolutely. You can't always be serious. You gotta have some fun in there. You know I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, and then maybe you can get Ricky. Like, you think he'd do it?
Oh shit! Yeah, he would. Just add flavor. You know what I mean? You're gonna love his accent.
Another perspective.
You guys have been here. Let me see if I can get him on the phone here. He's probably because he's got a lot of like deep, probably some deep shit. Sometimes he's off base though too, but a lot of times just like he knows more about the African leaders than I know about the African leaders, for example.
Shut up, seriously?
Dude, you're gonna love this guy. You're gonna love it. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I know he'd be a nice addition or like a guest every now and then. Nice. And just as he's got the Jamaican accent, man. No, man.
I love it.
Yeah, he's a hell of a cook too.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah.
He's up
he's not picking up. Ricky, pick up. Let me see. Where's Ricky? Ricky. Verno Rainer, call me. Yeah, I'm gonna get him on the phone.
Yeah.
And then we'll try and do a conference call.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, good stuff. Some really good stuff.
Right on. I'm working on some logos and things like that for us. And then like, I don't know, this is the one I did just recently. But I kind of want them to be like question marks on the top here. So I'm gonna, and I kind of like the androgyny of these, like, because nobody knows if it's a person or anything. It can be anybody,
yeah.
So I might even just put question marks in here and then change the overall color scheme. But I'm gonna have a few of them for us to look at and then kind of go from there. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So things that make you go, I think is good just because like when I was looking up Real Talk, I sent you guys that link. There's these Christian guys that go Real Talk with them and blah blah blah, and they're really into the Bible and stuff. And I kind of want us to kind of be different from them because there's Bible stuff and everything like that, holy things, but we're talking about like a whole bigger gamut than what they are talking about.
You,
You know
you
what I
know
mean?
what though? I think to be honest with you, like what you and I just did in the end, I
Mhm.
would rather it be kind of light and funny than all serious.
I agree. I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, we
Because
can have different segments like that. It's all good.
yeah, do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like actually we should cut that part and send it to Johnny, send it to a few people and kind of see
Oh yeah,
their
I
thought
can do that.
because that's like
Yeah.
market research, you know what I mean? Right there in itself,
There you go. Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Right?
I feel you. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm actually gonna make that into an episode by itself. It'll be
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh
No, I like that. I like that.
2.2 or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
or 2.5 or something.
yeah,
So there's
yeah,
a portion with Aaron, and then there's another episode with us, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So yeah,
Cool, cool,
it'll be good.
cool.
But I'll work
Yeah,
on these things, and then
yeah. No, I
we'll
like the logo.
like I
I like
said,
it.
we probably need say 3 more episodes or something like that. So then maybe next Sunday
Yeah,
when we have Aaron on there and maybe Ricky's on there as well, we'll do
yeah,
one thing, and then we'll do another 20 minutes you and me, and
yeah.
then we'll have 2 more episodes right there. So we'll have
Okay.
2 from here, 1 from last week. So that's already 3. And then 2
Yeah.
more, that's 5. And then we'll launch everything at the once and then go from there.
Sounds good, brother. Sounds good.
Wicked, man.
Sounds good.
Wicked.
No, awesome. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that was fun. That was
yeah, it
fun.
was. I
Yeah.
loved it. I
You
loved
know what I
it.
mean? All right.
Yeah. It's
All right, bro.
consistency is everything, my brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we'll keep it going.
Right on.
All right. We'll talk later.
You got it. Cheers, man. Bye.